Assalamu alaikum. Welcome everyone to our lesson for today for the first intermediate grade for the second semester of this year. Our subject, as you know, is the English language from the book Full Blast 2. Our lesson for today is 3A, Were You Scared? This is the second part. So today we have grammar and write. This whole lesson is prepared and it will be presented to you by Sultan Shahrani. So, first of all, thank you very much all of you for being with me. I'm really happy to be with brilliant students like you. The second thing, I want to make sure that you understand our book for today is Full Plus 2. It is not Super Goal, it is Full Plus 2. The third and the most important thing, I want to ask you something. Everyone, are you ready to begin our lesson? Very nice, let's go. Today we will learn number 1, past simple of the verb be. The second thing, there was and there were. Number 3, past expressions. Number 4, write about the past and how can you make sentences about the past. We will start, as we said, with the grammar. Okay, then after that, write. Grammar. The first thing that we will talk about is the past simple of the verb be. And when I say be, I mean by that am, is, and are. This is with the present, okay? We use them with the present. We know am, is, are. We use them with the present. Okay, we use the past tense. Okay, what is the past tense? Listen, we use the past tense for past actions and situations. For past actions and situations. Let's take an example. So, this is now in 2017. It is now, okay? This year is 2017. We know that. And this is a doctor, so we are saying he is a doctor. Is, can you see it? This one, because we're talking about now. Now we will talk about these two soldiers. We will say they are soldiers. Are, okay, because it is present. But when we talk about them, in the past, in 2001, for example, before, let's say, maybe 16 years, the doctor, he was a student. He was. Now he is a doctor, but before 16 years ago, in 2001, he was a student. The soldiers now, they are soldiers, but in the past, they were students. They were, okay? So, the past of is, can you see it? Was. But the past of are, this one, were. Okay, and also we have to talk about this one, which is am. The past of am was. So I say I was a student. I was a student. He was a student. They were. Okay, this is where. They were students. Okay, everyone? Very easy. Piece of cake. Let's take more examples. So now we will talk about the affirmative sentence, the negative sentence with not. Can you see not? Can you see it? With questions, with short answers. Let's take them one by one. Let's see. At first, when I say I was in the affirmative sentence, the negative one, it should be I wasn't or I was not. With the question, was I was, it should be was I? Was I a student? For example, I'm asking you in 2000 and let's say for example 5. I don't know if I was student that year, exactly that year. So I will say, was I a student that year? Okay. The short answers, yes, I was if I'm talking about myself. No, I wasn't. Also if I'm talking about myself. Okay. The next one, you were. We know that you, it should take were. With the negative, you weren't or you were not. The questions, were you? You were you. It's the opposite. Okay, so it's just like this. Okay, this is you were and the sentence. Okay, it should be like this. Capital W, where you, blah blah blah, and of course question mark. Okay, but this one is full stop. Okay, so the questions, and this is you, it should be here. Okay, so the questions we will do the same. The question, I was I, you were I, he was he. It's the opposite. Okay, let's continue with the questions. We said, were you? Short answers, yes you were or no you weren't. With he, she, it, we should use was. He was. With the negative, he wasn't or he was not. Questions, was he? Answers, yes he was or no he wasn't. She was. She wasn't or she was not with the negative. Questions, was she? Answers, yes she was, no she wasn't. It was. Negative, it wasn't or it was not. Questions, was it? Short answers, yes it was, no it wasn't. With you, we and they, we were. Negative, we weren't or we were not. Questions, were we? Short answers, yes we were or no we weren't. You were, the negative, you weren't or you were not. Questions, were you? Short answers, yes you were or no you weren't. They were, with the negative, they weren't or they were not. Questions, were they? Short answers, yes they were or no they weren't. Okay, and we have this one you and this one you. It's the same spelling, the same pronunciation, the same letters, but the meaning, this is for one. I'm talking to Ahmed, I will say, were you? Okay, but this one is for plural. I'm talking to Ahmed, Saeed, and Abdullah. I will say also, were you? So the meaning is different. Okay, very nice. Okay, now we will talk about there was and there were. It's very easy. As we said before, was with the singular and were with the plural. Okay, if I have only one thing, one, I should say there was. If I have more than one, 2, 3, 4, 5, I will say there were. Let's take an example. This boy, he wants to talk about 3 books on the table. 3 books on the table. He will say, there were 3 books on the table. Can you see them? 3 books. Okay, not only one. He will say where because it is plural. Okay, but this boy, he's thinking about one book. It is one book on the table. So he will say, there was a book on the table or there was one book on the table. Okay, so he should say was. Can you see this one? Was. Okay, everyone, so it's very easy. There was, if I'm talking about one thing or one person, and there were, if I'm talking about more than one, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 100, and so on. So with the affirmative sentence, we will say there was. With the negative, there wasn't. There wasn't. With the affirmative, there were. With the negative, there weren't. There weren't. Questions, as we said before, we have to put was at the beginning and there the second one. So we have to say was there. Affirmative, there was, but questions, was there. There was there. There were there. Okay, so when we say was there, the short answer should be yes there was, no there wasn't. With were there, we have to answer with yes there were or no there weren't. Okay, so it's the opposite. The time expressions with the past tense. For example, when I say yesterday, yesterday morning, last night, last Wednesday, last Friday, last week, last weekend, last month, last year, last summer, last winter, and so on. All of these relate to the past tense. So I'm talking about the past. Okay? All these talk about the past. Complete with was, wasn't, were, or weren't. Number one, A. Were you yesterday? You at home? So what do you think? What should we say here? We have you, and there is a question. So, were you? Excellent. And this one, you. We have again you. Were you at home? Very nice. So we have, with you, we should use where. Where were you yesterday? Were you at home? B. No, I with Andy. So what do you think? I told you before that we should use with I. Wasn't, exactly. No, I wasn't, because we said no. We have to put it in the negative. No, I wasn't. I with Andy. I was, exactly. No, I wasn't. I was with Andy. We at the museum. We were, exactly, at the museum. We, plural. A. It's good. So I'm talking about the museum. One museum. The museum. It's good. Was, exactly. Was it good? Yes, it. The museum. Yes, it was beautiful. Yes, it was. Number two, Dan and I at the new skate park last weekend. Dan and I, two, plural. Plural, not singular. So we have to say where, exactly. Dan and I were at the new skate park last weekend. It's exciting. B is saying it's exciting. And we're talking about the park, okay, the skate park, the new skate park. Only one skate park. Was, exactly, because we said it. Can you see it? Can you see it? So when we say it, we should say was. It was, or maybe wasn't if we want the negative. A. Yes, it. Fantastic. It. Again, we have it. Was. Yes, it was fantastic. Yesterday, there. Any people in the park. Any people. I'm talking about plural, and I said any. I want the negative. Plural and negative. Which one? Plural and negative. This one. Weren't, exactly. Yesterday they weren't any people, because people, many people, not only one. In the park because it's cold and windy. It's. I'm talking about the weather. It's cold and windy. It. We said with it we should use was, exactly. It was cold and windy. Excellent. Very nice. Go to pages from 147 to 149 for extra grammar practice. So now we will talk about write. We want to learn how to write in the past tense. Write a few sentences about where you were last Friday. Use the ideas in the box and the questions given. So you can use this: park, cafe, art gallery, restaurant, museum, if you were at one of them. And you can use these questions. Let's see them. Where were you last Friday? Who were you with? How was it? Was it interesting, boring, exciting, scary, dangerous, etc.? Were you scared, bored, happy, sad, excited, angry, surprised, etc.? Okay, we can use these questions. So this is the beginning. You have to begin like this. Last Friday I was at. Okay, everyone. So I will give you now an example, a small and simple example, just to take a look. And I want you later, after the lesson, to write your own sentences. Okay, everyone. So I will say, last Friday I was at the museum. Can you see the museum? I'm using this one, the museum. You can use any one of them. Where were you last Friday? Last Friday, I was at the museum. My family were there. Who were with you? My family were there. Or my family were with me. It was exciting. How was it? Was it interesting, boring, exciting, scary, dangerous? Which one? It was exciting. I was very happy. Were you scared, bored, happy, sad, excited, angry, surprised? I was very happy. So you can use these questions and this information to write 4 or maybe 5. If you can do it 6, 7, it's better. Sentences, okay, using the past tense. Using the past tense that we learned today. Okay, everyone, don't forget this one. Today we learned, number 1, past simple of the verb be. Number 2, there was and there were. Number 3, past expressions. Number 4, write about the past. So this is the end of our lesson. So those are the references that we used. Full Plus 2 students book, Full Plus 2 teacher's guide, the audio, the Google clip art for pictures. If you want more information and lessons, this is the website, the Twitter account, the telephone number for Ain National Education Portal, and for Tatweer Company for educational services. So as I said, this is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much all of you for being with me. I hope to see you next time. Goodbye everyone.